Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to VLR. Last time, treatment center.
I
That's
don't
all
know
you
Oh
got?
why.
yeah, and also tragic root beer.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, tragic
Uh,
root beer.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the heat wave going on, but I had so much trouble trying to remember what happened last time.
To be
I
fair,
mean,
my
the heat
brain
wave
is
is
addled as
pretty.
hell right now, so I understand that.
What
The
happened
heat
in a
wave
different
is
timeline,
really bad.
therefore we do not remember it.
True.
This time, Dio's at it again.
Of course he is.
In other news, water is wet.
Oh yeah.
So, to catch
Back
Dragon
you
up.
up,
crap.
what?
Oh Jesus, too
We
many
were all
people,
jumping
God.
on
one at a
that.
time.
So,
You explain.
last time we reached one of the other endings.
Tenmyojis
Tenmyoji.
specifically, which actually didn't tell us much about Tenmyoji, but instead told us about Quark.
Yeah.
And termites,
Well,
and a bomb code.
it told us about Quark's relationship with Tenmyoji, with him basically giving us a letter being like, hey, this is who grandfather is to me. Just so you know, he's not a bad guy.
Yes.
The reason why we bring up root beer is because Tenmyoji buying Quark a root beer float, which according to him is more expensive than the nicest alcohol at the bar, was a highlight of that story.
Yeah, and throughout the story, one thing did become pretty clear. Um, I am certain at this point that people were grabbed at different times. Um, because the timeline where Tenmyoji and Quark come from, the world has pretty much fallen apart. Like Quark mentions that most people don't have their parents. Most of the kids don't have their parents anymore. Um, Tenmyoji and Quark were making their living scavenging through abandoned buildings for scrap, and noting that there are a lot of abandoned buildings. So like the time they come from is pretty clearly post-apocalyptic, whereas like Clover and Sigma and such come from a bit of a more contemporary time.
Also, thank you for reminding me, Hannah. I completely forgot the most important thing that happened last time.
Oh,
Termites.
it, right, right.
And a bomb code.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, but more importantly,
Oh yeah.
termites.
Yeah, we spoke with Zero Senior, sort of. It was sort of a
Spoke
one-sided
as in
conversation.
it was a recording.
Hologram.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to emphasize that he had two pieces of important information to tell us, and one of them was babbling on about termites.
Yep, it was an absolute glycerin moment.
It was
Yep.
the glycerin moment.
So far. Also, we should probably handle Dio before the Amadeus game polling closes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
And
Speaking of
by
that,
handle, we mean stab him in the chest.
what the
No, in the
hell?
dick.
Somebody else must have opened one of the AB rooms.
We know exactly who it is. Why would they do that?
Because Dio's an asshole.
Whatever, we should be heading back anyway. I headed for the door.
Wait!
Clover's voice stopped me. What is it? I turned to see her pointing towards the wall with the treatment pods.
The screen, it changed.
What?
The screen on the pod's monitor thingy.
Yeah, we put Quark in a pod because he was infected with Radical 6.
Yeah, this is probably one of the timelines that has the best solutions for what to do with Quark. Outside of the, I think we had a timeline where we were able to give him Excelivir.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the one we did last time, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to go into the room with us.
True. Oh yeah, it says recent operational records. I stepped closer and began to read. What it said was interesting. Currently treating one subject. That one subject had to mean Quark. This was the pod we'd put him into after all. I read on. 0748, one subject released. 0806, one subject successfully restored. 0816, cold sleep mode engaged. Oh, that has a negative next to it. I thought that was like a notation, like a bullet list. But no, I
I
think
believe
this is
this.
saying it's going back in time. So like 7 minutes 48 seconds ago, 8 minutes, or probably more likely hours or days.
Yeah.
I think so far this is talking about the plants we stuck in there to test them.
No, I have a feeling that this was hours and minutes.
Let's
So-
keep going.
Okay.
Beginning restoration of one subject. All prior records have been erased. Authorization admin.
Interesting.
I checked the other pods. They were all the same. One subject released, one subject successfully restored. Cold sleep mode disengaged. Beginning restoration of one subject.
Interesting.
God, of course they would use the default admin account. Come the fuck on, guys. Learn some basic IT security principles.
I
Yeah,
think they
they-
set it up specifically to not give as much information as possible. But yes, I get you.
What's that? PM's not doing their jobs? No.
What is all this?
I think it's saying that about 8 hours ago, somebody in this pod woke up from cold sleep. Well, 3 people actually. 1 for each pod. They all say the same thing, see?
That's before we all woke up, huh? I mean, it hasn't been 8 hours yet.
Yeah.
So the 3 pod people could be 3 of us. They could have been captured earlier. Don't know how much earlier. And they were thawed out 8 hours ago and carried into the AB rooms. I mean, they could have done that to at least 4 people. Because remember, Alice doesn't need one of these pods to be frozen.
Yeah, that
We
seems
don't know
reasonable.
that though.
We do know that.
I really don't think there'd be anyone else in here besides the 9 of us. Well, I guess it's actually the 10 of us, huh?
Well, let's see. We know Dio wasn't one of them. It's possible that Quark and Temyoji are from this current timeline, and thus weren't frozen. So that's 3 out of the 9 people accounted for. So,
Well, we just gotta keep going.
yeah. Clover, Sigma.
We don't
Yeah.
know where Phi came from.
If you count the old woman we found, then it would be 10, wouldn't it? So, who were the 3 pod people?
Don't ask me. How am I supposed to know that? All it says is subject. A, that's creepy. B, it doesn't tell us anything about who they might have been.
It doesn't say when they were put into cold sleep either.
And this bit, where it says, all prior records have been erased. Authorization admin. That seems pretty suspicious to me.
I wonder why they wouldn't just write the time, though.
What?
Well, you said it yourself. The log says 8 hours ago, not like 9:15 a.m. Those minus signs have to mean this far in the past. Who would ever write the time like that?
Yeah, that is weird.
Maybe Zero Senior doesn't want us to know what the actual time is.
Why not?
Hell if I know.
Hmm.
Speaking of things I don't know, why did this stuff suddenly show up? Seems like whatever it was that triggered this activated as soon as we opened the door to leave.
Wouldn't that mean Zero Senior set it up to work that way?
Yeah, but why? That's what I'm asking. What reason would he have to do that?
Maybe he wanted us to see the records.
Perhaps, but he deleted a bunch of the data. Why?
Could it all be
Too
a
many
trick?
questions.
Trick. I mean, what it probably is some sort of scientific research.
All of these records are fake. Zero Senior just set it up to mess with us.
So you're saying this was just a joke?
Well, I can't say for sure, but it seems possible, right?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Well, let's ask somebody else. Maybe they can think of something.
Yeah, you're right. If AB gates have opened, we need to be heading back to the warehouse anyway.
Yeah, and we need to tell everyone what happened with Quark.
We double-checked that Quark was alright in his pod and hurried out of the treatment center. Very slow, Noom.
Why do we have to go the long way around?
Because I think the short way around is locked.
Oh. I guess.
Is this another warehouse?
It looks just like the other one. Hey, could you show me that map? Yeah, I thought so.
I kind of wish I could write which room was which on the map. Like,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I would like to have, like, an image in my head of how all these look like.
Yes.
This one is right under the floor A warehouse.
Huh? So it is.
Oh, are those?
Those doors are white.
And there are 3 of them.
Okay, let's go take a closer look.
I knew it. These are chromatic doors. See? They've got a little box right next to them, just like the others.
So these are the 3rd round chromatic doors, huh? I guess we'll be coming back here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, we might not have to.
What do you mean?
We both have 6 BP right now.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
So?
a pair, right? And
Yeah.
who's our opponent?
Quark.
Exactly. But he's in the pod right now, so...
If no vote is recorded before
Over,
the
don't
deadline
do it.
is passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
You aren't saying we should pick the trade, are you?
Weren't you planning to? I thought that was why you were okay with option C when we were making the groups.
No, that's not. I just thought that with Quark's condition, I'd be able to choose ally and not worry about getting betrayed.
Oh, come on. You don't need to lie to me. We're partners. That means we share the same destiny. So let's not hide anything from
fuck
each other,
Destiny.
okay?
Destiny can go die in a fire.
I'm not hiding anything.
Wait, you're serious? You were really going to pick ally? Whoa, hold on a second there. We might not get another chance like this. Let's say we ally and get up to 8 points. We don't know if we'll be able to get any points next round. For all we know, there might not even be a next round. There are 3 other people with 6 BP, right? Dio, K, and Phi. What do you think's going to happen if one of them gets 9 points this round?
That's not going to happen.
Why not?
Phi and Luna are playing against Tenmyoji. He's only got 1 DP left, though. I don't really think they'd pick Betray. Tenmyoji picked Ally. They'd kill him. The same goes for Dio. He's playing against Alice and Kay, and Alice's BP.
No! Don't even think about that!
I agree, but her BP is the same as Tenmyoji's. So unless Dio's willing to kill someone, he won't be able to get his BP to 9.
Then Alice has to vote betray.
Yeah,
There's a problem, though.
that is generally the best defensive choice.
The problem, though, is that
Oh,
Dio would absolutely kill people
Yeah.
because he's a shithead.
we know that for a fact.
really
He did it
is.
to us.
But if Dio chooses ally, then
Then-
Kay would have 9 BP.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, it's just like I said then. If Kay gets 9 BP, then there won't be a 3rd AB game.
Well, that's not necessarily the case.
So it's over when someone gets 9 BP.
No. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on!
Okay, but we've seen Kay hit 9 BP already anyway.
So you think that Kay will stay here? Even if he gets enough points to leave?
He might wait.
No, but it's possible.
No, it's not!
Well, we can think about how we're going to vote later. For now, we need to get back to the others. There's a couple things I've got to do. There's a couple things I got to do when we get back.
Fine.
Okay, back to floor A then. Let's move. I turned and headed for the exit. After a few moments, I heard Clover's footsteps following behind me.
Watt is back. He has caprese pasta salad.
Yay.
Bing, bing, bing.
God, I hope this heat gets better next week.
Same.
What gets better? Oh, the heat. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rainy over in the in the Northeast, so
Yay!
it's gonna be humid. Every day we're suffering.
I will take headaches
Mood.
over dying
Clover.
from heat any day.
Oh, thank goodness you're back.
Yep.
Are we the last ones?
Yes.
Oh, it looks like Alice hasn't
Where's
been dead.
Clark?
Tenyoji's expression was furious, and from the way he was stomping toward me, I felt like I only had a few seconds before I was on the ground with his hands around my neck. I explained what had happened with Quark and the pods as quickly as I could.
So are these pod things really safe?
Probably.
Probably.
No, they're definitely safe. He's fine.
Well, are they safe or aren't they? Look, I'm
Temioji,
just
calm
worried about it,
down.
right? Can you take me to this treatment center, Clover? Don't worry. We've still got 20 minutes left. Plenty of time to go have a look and come back.
Okay. Come on then.
As soon as she finished, she was off. Temyoji followed at her heels, and in the blink of an eye, they were gone, out the magenta door.
What I feel like Dio's just gonna be like, well, you fucks, I'm gonna go vote.
I mean, not like it matters, the timer has already started. Whether he votes now or waits for us to get back is irrelevant.
Fair
Alright,
enough.
You guys got some splaining to do.
I beg your pardon?
You opened the AB gates before Clover and I got back, didn't you? I want to know why the hell you'd go and do something like that.
Sigma, take a look.
As she spoke, Phi gestured toward the line of AB rooms. Only one was open.
It's not like we opened them all up.
Sarah's saying only one person or one pair jumped the gun here?
Yes.
Well, then who was it?
I opened it.
So it was you. Figured as much.
It's not really a big deal, okay? I mean, you came right back.
Yes, Dio. Yes, it is a big deal.
Why? If you hadn't made it back by the deadline, you'd have just defaulted to ally.
No, not just. Are you telling me you didn't know? Didn't you find one of these notes?
What?
We found this in the treatment center.
There was no such thing in the pressure exchange chamber.
I didn't see one in the pantry either.
Huh. Well, whatever. You should really probably read it, though.
Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not a option. If both parties refuse to vote...
Hearing Alice go through the puns is bringing me joy.
then
Yes.
every bunny gets penalized. In other words, one person out of every color group of 3 has to vote.
You get it now? If we hadn't gone back in time, Clover, Quark, and I could have died. And you just...
Alright, I get it. Sorry. Cut me some slack, though, man. I didn't know.
Really?
So
You wouldn't have cared.
So you wouldn't have opened the gate if you did?
Of course I wouldn't have.
Well, I mean, there was that time
No!
in one of the third AB games where he did wait for us to get back. Granted, he opened it the second he saw us enter the door, enter the room, but he still waited.
What the hell, bro?
Yeah, but that's because he knew. It was a third round game, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And playing devil's advocate here, you can't really judge him for doing something that he didn't know would have negative consequences.
He's a fucking cultist, Earth.
He is. But in this
We can blame
situation
him for a
alone-
lot of things. That actually
You said
isn't
the
one
room
of
you
them.
went into was
Yeah.
a treatment center, right?
Yeah.
If they treat people there, I'd think they'd have shelves of medicine and stuff. Did you find any Excelavir?
No.
Yeah.
It's not really that kind of place. It just had those pods, and that was it. Besides, if we'd found anything to cure Radical 6, we wouldn't have put Quark in the pod.
I see. Can the pod cure Radical 6?
No, unfortunately.
How do you know that?
Oh, well, it said so on the screen next to the pods. Something about how it can provide relief from the symptoms, but it can't actually cure the disease. It's better than nothing, though. You know, that's a thought. We're probably like all infected, and the only reason we haven't generally been feeling the effects outside of Alice and Quark, and me that one time, was because since we were in the pods, our symptoms were alleviated for a time. Oh, right. There's one more thing about the pods I should tell you. As quick as I could, I explained what the records said about the pod's occupants and their cold sleep.
Cold sleep?
Are you suggesting that 3 of us were, until recently, cryogenically frozen?
If you can trust what we read, yeah.
Which of us are the pod people then?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It didn't say who they were or even when they were frozen.
So this cold sleep, that means they basically froze the body solid, right? Not like how a bear or something hibernates where it just slows way down.
Yeah, I think so.
So what would happen to the heart?
What?
Wouldn't it stop when you were put into a cold sleep?
Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off.
Oh shit!
So if we go into cold sleep,
shit, he's
our
right.
bracelets would come off.
Then we can just defrost ourselves right away.
You said there were 3 pods, right?
We'd only need to do it 3 times for the 9 of us.
Uh-huh.
I imagine that will work for you, but perhaps not so much for me.
The armor.
Don't worry. I'm sure we'll figure something out. We should go have a look at any rate. We'll be able to come up with a plan once we know more.
Of course.
I mean, maybe his bracelet just pops out of the gauntlet.
What? What do you mean the cold sleep function doesn't work?
I'm sorry.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Luna. Zero Senior must have just locked it down.
Well, shit. He even thought of that possibility.
But when Clover and I were here, it worked.
Yeah, I remember checking it.
Then that bastard set this up. Oh, that's low.
It is not pleasant, but consider this. We have seen how thorough Zero is. Would he really have left such an obvious loophole?
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. If Zero Jr. heard me, he could have shut it off.
Whatever the case, it is an unfortunate outcome.
Unfortunate? Really? You sure? Aren't you just a little bit relieved? After all, we were gonna get our bracelets off while you were stuck with yours.
How could you say that? I would never be so petty as...
Before Kay could finish, the announcer's voice echoed through the facility.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All
Get
players,
moving.
please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded
You know,
before
since
the
no one's
deadline
made this
has
joke, I might as well
passed,
do it now.
Any non-voting parties will
Let's
automatically
get
add
moving!
Time's running out.
I remember that line, but I can't remember where.
We should get back, guys.
Sonic
I'm
06,
staying
Shadows
here.
campaign.
I can't leave Quark.
Are you nuts?
Of course,
old man?
Earth would be the one to recognize
You're a
that.
solo. Luna and Phi could kill you.
Yeah, I know. I've only got 1 BP.
Exactly. If you don't vote, you'll default to ally. All they have to do is pick betray.
We won't. You staying here won't change our vote.
Right. We always intended to choose ally. Tenmyoji staying here is just another reason for us to stick to that plan.
Luna has the same number of BP as you, Tenmyoji. Normally, the safe plan would be to choose Betray. Since you will be unable to betray them, then Phi and Luna can choose to ally without worrying about their own points.
Yes.
Well, there you go. I trust Phi and Luna. I'm sure they'll choose ally.
Thank you, Tenmyoji.
Yeah, he has consistently been an absolute bro.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Also, Luna's always picked ally, and also Phi isn't the type of person to kill somebody over points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay then, Tenmyoji, you take care of Quark.
You think I need you to tell me that? I won't take my eyes off him for a minute.
Come on. We don't have much time left. We need to go.
So, on the topic of Sonic, y'all heard about the fact that they released a new animatic trailer for that Sonic
I need to
Generations
sit down
remake?
and watch it.
I haven't seen it. This is my first time hearing about it.
I've heard about the video, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it.
I've heard that a certain character who's basically been missing in action for close to 2 decades is in that trailer.
Interesting.
Tails?
No. Wow. Emerald.
No clue who that is.
He's from Sonic Battle.
Oh, the game I never played, because I haven't played any Sonic game after Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Generations 1.
I mean,
You
it
mean the
came out
robot
around the
who
same
had
time.
Chaos Emerald powers? Is that the one you're
Yes, the
talking about?
robot.
Yeah, it was for the GBA.
Whose brother is now Cream's guardian.
Okay, there seems to be a misunderstanding here.
Anyway.
You guys think I'm a fan of Sonic.
Anyway, I am though. So
I am not under any implication that you are. I'm not either. I just know these two would know who it is.
yeah, I like Sonic Battle. Though when you said
like
someone
Sonic.
who hasn't been seen in nearly 2 decades, I was like, do you have any idea how little that narrows things down?
That was it down.
I know, right?
Especially if
there
depending on
is-
like what you mean by has been seen.
If there is one thing that Sonic is good at, it is coming up with interesting new characters and then immediately throwing them into a closet,
see.
never to be seen again.
When was the last time Charmy was seen? I want to say he hasn't been seen since Heroes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
less than which is like less than half a decade.
Sorry, what was that?
Heroes?
Sonic Heroes, no. He's in Generations, even I know that.
Oh, yeah, I suppose he's an NPC you can talk to, okay.
Let's
Anyways,
see.
too much Sonic character talk.
They're not going to bring back the Echidna clan. Never. They can't.
They can't
Oh
bring back
god,
Shane
yeah,
either.
that's that one really weird comic writers.
Fuck.
There's
Kevin.
something about that that I have heard. I'm not going to go into it because I already said too much Sonic talk.
Yeah.
Alright, Clover. We should probably head in too.
Okay.
I don't even need to ask you what you're choosing this time.
Sigma, do you remember what I said back in the other warehouse?
Yeah. You told me we should betray Quark so we might not get another chance like this. Right?
Yeah. Can I, take that back?
Huh?
I changed my mind a little bit after talking to Tenmyoji. I think we should choose Ally.
Hey, that's more than just a little bit. That's like someone trading in a Shih Tzu for a German Shepherd. What the hell happened with you two? Did he say something to you?
I can't tell you.
What? Why?
I just can't. You'd laugh if I did anyway.
I won't laugh.
Really?
Promise.
Well, I still can't tell you.
Hey, come on.
I promised. I told Tenmyoji I wouldn't tell anybody.
Alright, fine. I won't ask about it again. Tenmyoji doesn't really have anything to do with this, right? Our opponent is Quark.
No, he does matter. Quark is really important to Tenmyoji. If we betray Quark, we're betraying Tenmyoji. Come on, don't you remember? When we were going into the red, blue, and green doors, Tenmyoji said something.
I didn't say there wasn't anyone I trusted. There's one person, Clover. And just know that you'll keep him safe.
I can't betray somebody who'd say that about me.
You seem pretty ready to betray him back on floor B.
That's because I didn't know who he was.
Oh ho. So you're saying you know who Tenmyoji really is?
Well, if what he told me was true, yeah.
Oh. Okay, Earth, I think that lends more credence to your theory
Game polling closes.
that Tenmyoji is Junpei from the first game.
Yeah.
Please. Choose Ally.
You aren't going to try and vote yourself?
If I try, you'll just throw me off, right? I don't think I'm strong enough to fight you. So,
Alright. With that, I turn to face the voting machine. The question was, what would I do? Ally or betray? Just as Clover had said, trained Quark was like the trained Tenmyoji. I wasn't even taking into consideration that Quark was just a kid. He was infected with a deadly disease that would almost certainly kill him if he didn't do something. How could I betray someone like that? Only a monster would take advantage of a helpless child for their own gain. On the other hand, what Clover had said in the warehouse on floor B was true. It's unlikely that I'd get another chance like this again. If I chose betray, then I'd have 9 BP. I would be able to escape this godforsaken hellhole.
10 seconds.
So what would my choice be? What would I do? Ally or betray? I chose...
3, 2, 1.
You wait until the last second again like a goddamn idiot. Wait, you chose betray?
Yeah.
What?
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
So, the way my voting has been in this more recent part of the game is I am picking the options that I feel will give me more information.
Results.
What if this doesn't give you any information at all?
In the
Then I gambled wrong.
Thank you.
Would that mean would you go back and try the other option?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I figure this option allows Clover and I to escape, possibly alongside someone else, which might give us a little bit more info on like what is happening out there, and or like other people's motivations, yada yada yada.
Ambidex gates now opening.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No.
Huh. Well, you'll know in a moment. What you want to do after that is up to you. You can come with me if you want, or you can stay here. So, Sigma, you're flat out telling her what you picked. Your choice.
That's as good as saying you chose betray.
I grinned and headed toward the display.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Wow. Dio would fucking kill Alice.
You would.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that already.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
I'm back. What happened?
What did you do,
I
Clover?
didn't know you were gone.
Wait! Did you seriously choose betray?
Yes,
He chose betray.
I figured it was the option that would give me more information. My voting
Wow.
has been consistent in that regard for like the past month or so.
No,
It just happens that
I
most of
know
the
it
time-
has. I'm just surprised.
It's just, you know, most of the time I feel like Ally would give me more options.
Sorry, it wasn't me.
Sigma, huh?
Yeah.
Care to explain this then?
What's there to explain? It's exactly what it looks like. I'm getting out of here.
What?
Are you going with him, Clover?
When they all turned to look at Clover, I made my move. My feet pounded across the metal floor of the warehouse as I ran for the number 9 door. Yeah, you better do that, because the other time that I got 9 points, they knocked my ass out.
Hey, wait!
Yeah.
You'd have to do better than shout if you wanted to stop me. It was close. It was closer. I was almost there. I think that were meant to be I was closer. I took one last running leap. Slammed into the wall, the unlocking device right in front of me. With a yell of triumph, I threw the lever down.
Christ, you're an asshole in this one.
Yeah, like, okay, I had my reasons for picking it, and like, he had reasons for thinking of it, but like, goddamn, he's going full renegade here. Like, I wasn't expecting him to like enjoy it. The door began to open. A heavy metallic grinding noise filled the room.
Shit, that son of a bitch actually did it?
His voice sounded almost surprised. I turned to face him. Sorry, but it looks like this is goodbye.
Sigma.
Don't worry. I'll go to the police as soon as I get out. Come back with help. I'm not going to just leave you all here to die.
Don't give me that shit. I know a liar when I see one.
Really? Maybe you should get your eyes checked.
Are you guys just gonna let him run off like this?
No way. I can't allow that. He took advantage of a sick kid. He's just a coward.
Agreed.
I also agree.
That's it then. Let's get him. Ready?
Yeah.
He's toast.
Just leave it to us.
Oh, wow.
Hey now, don't do anything you'll regret. This door only opens once, you know. Stop me, then.
Give it up. Charge!
Shit! I spun back around to face the door. There it was, right in front of me. Freedom. I leapt for it. Or at least I tried.
Lol, nope.
It happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, my cheek was being pressed against the cold steel floor of the warehouse.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Shit, let me go! Let me go, goddammit! I could feel something huge, heavy, and metal pressed against my back. Kay had to be holding me down. I flailed and kicked, but didn't do any good. What are you doing? You're just killing yourselves! The door only opens once. If I don't...
I know. Go, Clover.
Huh?
You're the only one of us with 9 BP. Nobody else can get out.
But
This is an order from your commanding officer. You are to escape from this facility. Once you've accomplished that, call for help.
that's...
Stop complaining and go. If that door closes, it's all over. None of us will get out of here alive. Leave!
The door had already begun to close. The space was narrowing quickly, but it was still wide enough for a single person to make it through.
Fine. You didn't leave me much choice.
I couldn't see
Wow,
what happened,
okay.
but I heard enough to guess. Alice had shoved Clover through the door. Looking up, I could see Clover's feet just beyond the doorway.
Alice!
Go! Call for help! I'm counting on you!
Alice! No! I can't!
Okay, so you don't get much info from this one.
Yeah.
Well,
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you.
This
for
kills
your
the Sigma.
participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Well.
Wow.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
yeah, you chose wrong, man. You should try again.
Oh well.
Now let's be a good boy and choose ally.
I am admittedly surprised that you thought that would get you any information.
I think he thought that he would actually escape and get some information out there.
Yeah,
but
there was that time that I escaped with Fi and Dio, and I got a lot of information that time.
I think the idea is that you will get information if you escape with someone else's
what I said
consent.
back in the other warehouse?
So if you just go renegade like in this one, I think that it's pretty constant that you will be stopped and you will fail to escape because you're not able to overpower the other people. So yeah, I think you should keep that in mind for the future.
Maybe.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No.
Huh. Well, you'll know in a moment. Let's go. I gave her a light pat on the shoulder and headed toward the wall where the results would be displayed.
Results from round 2. Please
I also do think that...
Yeah, Dragon Cat also has a point. There's something to be said for, like... there's a part of me that wants to go down all the routes anyway.
Yeah, that is very valid.
So, like, a lot of these decisions that I'm making are just like, I'm gonna pick both options eventually.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
So you chose Ally, huh?
Yeah. Cork is sick, a kid, and unable to vote. I couldn't bring myself to betray someone like that.
Thank you.
You did so, though.
No need to
I mean, she doesn't need to know that.
I only did what anyone would have. So you guys chose Ally too, huh?
Of course. Tenmyoji had only one BP left, and he was guaranteed to vote Ally, so there's no way we could betray somebody in that position.
If we had, then he'd...
Yeah, he didn't have much choice. Alice, Kay, and Dio, on the other hand, seem to have had a less pleasant round.
One moment.
What the hell is your problem? You're either crazy or just an asshole. Were you trying to
The
kill me?
answer to your question, Alice, is yes.
Nothing like that.
Well then, what was it like? If we'd voted Ally,
You would be dead. The needles in your bracelet would have activated, killing you.
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was any way in hell you guys would choose Ally, not with Alice's BP at 1. The only way you could possibly vote was Betray. Picking Ally when I knew you guys would pick Betray would have been suicide.
You can't die. You've got 6 BP.
Well, maybe not immediately, no. But I would have been signing my own death warrant. Heck, not just mine. Everyone except Kay's.
What?
Didn't you think it through? Your vote was always gonna be Betray. Let's say I was a raving lunatic and picked Ally. What would happen to Kay's BP?
6 plus 3 would make 9.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I picked the option, was there was a possibility that I would have escaped with Kay.
See? Then it'd be game over. Life over. He'd open the number 9 door and blow this popsicle stand. That'd leave us twisting in the wind, living out the rest of our miserable lives stuck in this place.
Yeah, but keep in mind, if you convince someone not to open the number 9 door, it keeps going. Just
That's
like what
why
happened
I
with
chose
5.
Betray. I did it to save all our necks, including yours.
Alice gritted her teeth
Hold
and
on,
scowled
Dio.
fiercely at Dio, apparently trying to think of a rebuttal before finally snorting indignantly and walking away.
Hold on, Dio, give me a second. I need to grab my phone because I'm calling some bullshit.
Shortly thereafter, the warehouse was filled with the rumbling sound of the door sliding shut.
Please dropkick him.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round. Star keys are required. There is no the Ambidex.
Yeah, blah, 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 we know.
Yeah, we've seen that a million times. As many times as we want, huh? And that means...
We can play the AB game as many times as we want, right?
Hey, didn't Zero Jr. say something about this?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The parent solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, he did. Can you guys all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all our colors and groups are this time. Within moments, a series of wrists were extended for me to examine.
There's a red solo.
I'm used to it going through without me having to push the button. I see. Luna and Clover are a cyan pair, and Phi and Alice are a magenta pair. The remaining 3 are all solos. Kay is red, Dio is green, and I'm blue. So how are the groups supposed to work for the next round? I think the next doors are going to be those white ones down in the Floor B warehouse.
Yeah, I heard about those. Alice told me about them while we were here waiting for you and Clover. I think I've got them figured out.
Yeah? So lay it out for us. How are the groups going to shake out this time? Phi nodded and began to explain. Option A. Temyoshi and Quark pair up with me to open one door. Fi and Alice pair up with Dio to open another door. Luna and Clover pair up with Kay to open the last one.
Oh? Is there only one option?
Yes. No other combinations would be able to open the secondary doors.
God, Alice is stuck with Dio again.
Admittedly,
I know.
Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here for us to check, but I'm sure they're the yellow pair. If they weren't, then Sigma would be stuck without anybody he could pair up with.
Oh, God. I never thought I'd have to put up with Dio again.
Well, you just didn't think hard enough then. Sooner or later, everybody puts up with Dio. Wait.
You're an asshole! You're an asshole! You're an asshole!
So, what should we do now? It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition.
Well, whatever we do, we're gonna leave it to the last second again.
Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose. So we might as well look for that medicine. Accelavir, right?
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
As will I.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
What about you, Sigma?
You're not gonna help Dio. You're looking for blackmail material. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Yeah.
Of course I'll help. What kind of jerk wouldn't? Well, no, if he found it, he would just take it.
Okay. We should split up and search.
After some discussion, Dio and Kay were assigned to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, and Clover, Fi, and myself to the pressure exchange chamber.
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna.
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyoji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped. Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyoji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right.
Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction. I'm gonna be right back. There's a dog barking outside, and I think it might be picking up.
It is indeed picking up. Ugh, give me a moment, too.
Standing here in silence, missing all the violence.
Alright. So, this is the pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs.
How do you know that?
Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
Oh god, I closed the window due to the sound, and I immediately feel like the temperature has increased. So this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
Apparently, the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in. It did mean, however, that we need to go through a decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Oh, and that newspaper article was right?
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Damn it. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Okay, yeah, but
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Accelavir. Quark needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, all right?
Got it.
Okay.
At the exploded Zero Jr., rest in peace.
Rip in spaghetti, never forget.
We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with this stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions? We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Have any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no.
Remember, guys, this game was made before 2020.
But...
Yeah.
And then Alice said...
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as bioweapon.
So, what's the rumor she was talking about?
Pro tip, I will be handing out bans if someone talks about COVID-19 as a bioweapon.
Yeah. I got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? I mean, she said the government in a different route. Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. And finally, she lifted her head and met my eyes.
Fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
All right.
Yeah, Dragon Cat. I'm not looking at you.
Yeah, we know you'd behave.
Promise?
Yeah, you seem like a dependable sort.
Promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Here's what she said.
All right, here I go.
Alice and yeah, here you go. Yes, exactly.
That's what I meant. I'm gonna try to talk slowly so I don't mess up my words. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we're an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Soy.
We're nerds. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there's only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved with something like that, huh? Well, let me tell you about morphogenetic fields. Well, it started when I met Alice. I told you I played the ordinary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time, so about a year ago.
Okay, so she is 1 year older than she was in the first game. Even dealing with time.
Cryo sleep.
Yeah.
We just escaped and we were all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert.
Man, I feel the scene right now.
I was driving, and that's when I saw her. Alice. She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. She was already working for the SOIS, and she'd been on her way to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation.
So, not the same Alice as the all ice.
I mean,
no, it's just a coincidence.
It could be.
We don't know.
That she was on the actual ship, and that's why they didn't find her when we were playing the first game, because that was taking place in Building Q, actually. Had eventually been discovered, thawed out, and in the process of all that, decided to start working for SOIS.
A mummy starts working for a Federal Bureau investigation.
Look,
that actually sounds like
if you're a
sounds like a
supernatural
sick
creature
movie
of
idea.
some kind, or like otherwise have some weird, unexplainable shit going on with you, it stands to reason that you go and work for the shadowy branch of the government that deals with this stuff. I've seen plenty of stories where that's what happens.
Like Hellboy?
Like Hellboy,
Helsing?
Helsing's another example. Look, there's plenty of ones. I'm just spacing on the names. Like, I keep wanting to say Buffy, but I know Buffy isn't an example of one.
Angel, probably, because Angel is actually a vampire.
Yeah. Oh, fucking.
I mean, Buffy would count.
Torchwood.
She is supernatural.
Torchwood.
Which one?
Well, no.
Or the hairy dress. Go ahead.
The reason why I say not Buffy is because she's not working for the government.
Yeah.
We had offered her a ride. After she got in and started talking, it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building you'd been trapped in. We couldn't see how us playing the notary game had anything to do with the terrorists. But Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now, on the run.
Wait, what? Who? I could have sworn that Ace and...
That's not the people who trapped us there. That
Oh,
June and
right.
Santa.
Yeah, June and Santa, doy.
Yeah. Anyway, we were taken back to Soy's headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought there had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must have not found anything, because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back the way they'd been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother, since we'd been gotten kidnapped twice now, so she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. And he was in both of the last two nonary games, too. So anyway, we'd been grabbed twice. But the people behind the two nonary games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom, though. So after that, all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. We were always being watched. People would look at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy-looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day, and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it! After that, we lived on our own.
Wait, it was that easy? The bodyguards weren't able to stop them?
Yep. I worked in a cafe, and he composed music. He played the harp, and he started writing this kind of new, agey music. It got kind of popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play songs.
And this has all happened within a year since when they played the last notary game.
Look, man, after you've been located twice, you gotta, get out all that frustration and way to cope somehow. Snake is just a boss like that.
I mean, I'm just saying, okay, there was enough time of them being watched over by the bodyguards to get sick of it. It's not like they did this after, a week. So it must have been at least a few months. And then they get out there, start working at a cafe. Snake then starts the music, and has an absolute meteoric rise to fame.
Well, his real name is you missed my lines, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd already said that.
Go back, Sigma. I don't remember. Okay, there we go. I know that sounds kind of weird and culty, but they do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day Alice showed up. I need your help, she told us. We need people who can do what you can do. So we went to the location she gave us, and it turns out to be the headquarters of Soyce, where they'd taken us after the second honorary game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so people who are all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar, too. It only took a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first honorary game. We were all excited to see each other again, and we were hugging and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Hold on, you take a sip. Okay. Now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just any one country. It's possible that we, as a species, will die out completely. We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help.
Okay, I'm looking at this, and all I can think of, total, complete, global saturation.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Get out of here, Wesker. Not wanted.
You are what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenetic field. We need that. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically, we do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenetic field. The purpose of the first honorary game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it and threw them into the game. Alice had gathered up all the kids from that experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she brought in was an Esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh? I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that! I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way! I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently, though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job, after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. Alright, I forgot to tell you, she told us how much they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go wherever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple of days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first honorary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the Soys were after. Wasn't that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother, too. But the clincher is what Seven said to us. He was one of the guys who got abducted with us for the second honorary game. She called him on her phone right then and there and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please. Just do me a favor and help Alice out.
Junpei, like Seven, another participant for the second honorary game.
Seven was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, that did it. My brother and I agreed to join the Soys and get all the delicious sauce. For the next couple of months, all we did was train. Half of the time was general knowledge and technical skills a Source agent needed, and the other half was learning to straighten our Esper abilities. They'd actually known about Espers for quite a while, and had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at the base so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of the workers, then use the morphogenetic field to transmit what I found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was fake, and I got captured. Alice had to come and rescue me. I'd been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come and find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry.
I mean, if you think about it, Clover succeeded in her mission. She was able to get the information out to the people to go and put a stop to them.
Yeah. She was just so cool, and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we would strike. This time, I promised myself we wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then, on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were going over our plans.
And when you woke up, you were in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a lot of talking.
Yep. Now you know how I feel sometimes.
Oh, Jesus.
All that talking seemed to have tired Clover out.
It did!
She sighed, and her long hair swayed as she moved.
Boy,
Yeah, I've got a few questions.
What are they?
Well, first off, your, powers, I guess. I'm guessing you can't use them right now?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I've been sending my brother messages ever since I woke up, but...
Probably because he's long dead.
We're sending out an SOS!
It's probably because, like, a century has passed. No response?
Yeah. If there was another Esper here, they could make me stronger. But that's just wishful thinking. Wait!
What?
Well, if there's someone else who's stronger than me, then they kind of absorb my powers. Maybe... No, never mind. That's probably not it.
Right. Whatever. I have some other questions, so... Moving on. I think I understand what Alice was talking about now. They were trying to spread that virus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who are they?
Well, I can't tell you that.
What? Why not? You told me all that other stuff, but this is too much?
Well, Alice would be mad at me.
I already told you I wouldn't tell her.
But...
Fine. Let me rephrase. When are they going to do it?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
Let me guess. Are they the Myrmidons? So you don't know?
No. All we know is soon.
That could mean just about anything.
Yeah, it could be next week or next month or even next year. Or it could have happened already.
Wait, you mean they might have already released the virus?
Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, how about this room? Or that newspaper article? And the 3 people who were put in cold sleep.
Are you saying you, me, and Alice were frozen and the pandemic happened while we were on ice? Wait, No, that doesn't make sense. Nobody else has heard of Radical 6 either. Temyoji did.
Maybe they're lying.
Really? All 6 of them?
Well, if Kay really does have memory loss, then it's only 5. Quark is out too.
So you're saying Temyoji, Dio, Phi, and Luna are all lying? Let's see. Dio's lying because he's one of the Myrmidons. Temyoji, sort of mentioned that he knows. Quark...
Yep.
Quark would probably know. But, well, he probably wouldn't know its name. And then Phi's probably just lying. Phi is Phi.
Right?
And what's their motive?
For lying? How would I know?
And what's the motive for a terrorist organization to start a pandemic?
I heard it was something about purifying the unclean.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like Myrmidons. Purifying the unclean?
Oh, unclean. 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 Unclean.
What are you doing?
Shut up. Just hold on a minute. I'm this close to remembering. Unclean, clean, een.
She leapt up, suddenly excited.
Neostigmine.
Neo, what?
Did you forget it already? I'm talking about this stuff.
As she spoke, she pulled something out of her pocket. It was the injection gun, complete with a vial of medication. Oh, right, I remember that. It was in the safe in the treatment center, right?
Yeah!
I didn't have any idea what it was, though, so I gave it to you.
Exactly!
Are you saying you've heard about this neostigmine stuff before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just remembered.
You remembered?
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. That means it's a sort of antidote for tubocurarine.
Oh.
That's important information.
I'm pretty sure that unlocks a lock for us. Sorry, but I still don't get it.
How easy do I have to make it? Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll start at the top, alright? The stuff I've got in here is neostigmine, which counteracts the muscle relaxant tubocurarine.
So basically, we found a 1-up.
Following me?
Tubocurarine is the poison on our bracelets, right?
Right. It's the second thing we get injected with if we're penalized.
First, is this over real? Which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
So you're saying this neostigmine keeps it from working?
Yes! Oh my god, how many times are you going to make me say it?
So we can just inject ourselves with this if we get penalized.
Yeah, we don't have to die. We're gonna be okay. We can only...
By the way, tubocurarine is in fact a real toxin.
Yep. I imagine it's probably related to curare. Yeah, which...
Yes, it's probably close to curare.
Comes from Brazilian dart frogs, as I recall.
Yep. Yeah, I believe so, yeah. They don't use it anymore, obviously.
That means we can only use it on one person.
Yeah.
Well, it's still good news. This means one of us can break the rules. Once. Like, let's see.
The best way to use it would be for sneaking through the number 9 door. If somebody gets 9 points, they can open it, right? With this stuff, somebody who doesn't have 9 points could still leave with them. Anyway, I'm gonna go tell Alice.
What? Hey, Clover, wait! Clover! It was too late. Clover was already on the lift and gone.
By the way, also, neostigmine is also, in fact, a real chemical. It is a cholinesterase inhibitor, just like Clover said.
Damn. I was, I think understandably, upset. With no stairs, my only choice was to wait for the lift to come back down.
Yep, and it says...
I jumped on and headed upstairs.
Yep, it says that that neostigmine is used in the treatment of myasthenia gravis and to reverse the effects of muscle relaxants such as galamine and tubocurarine. They did their homework.
Yep. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Fi.
Fi?
Where did Clover go? Fi, can you hear me? She didn't say anything, just stared at me with her mouth half open. Her eyes seemed slightly glazed and her body was unnaturally stiff. Fi? I grabbed the shoulder and shook her gently. Slowly, she raised her arm, fingers drooping limply from it. She gestured toward the exit that led away from the warehouse. That way? She went out that door? Fi's only answer was a slow, shallow nod. She's currently feeling the effects of Radical 6, like we were that one time, I imagine. Right, got it. Thanks. I headed for the exit, then paused. You look pretty tired. Get some rest, alright? Still no response. There was something odd about her, but catching Clover seemed like more of a priority. I turned back around and jogged out the door toward the treatment center.
More of these slow animations.
Huh? This is weird. Where is everybody? I'd assumed Alice would be in the treatment center, so Clover would have gone there to find her, but the room was empty. Sigma, check the time on your bracelet. Luna and Temyoji were gone too. I'd left Quark, and the readout on his pod said his vital signs were still normal. As far as I could tell, he was still asleep. Fine, I guess it's time to go look somewhere else. I made my way out of the treatment center. Nothing in the panty either.
I hope there was nothing in the panty.
They're not like Trucy's magic panties.
What the fuck?
Where is everybody?
Yeah, it's starting to get ridiculous at this point. What the hell? What is going on here? I can't find anybody. Every single room is empty. Wait, there's still one place I haven't checked. The infirmary. We just walk in there and everyone's dead. Oh, we're feeling the effects. I ran into the room and stopped short. Might as well have run into a brick wall. My chest tightened so much I could barely breathe. No. What happened? I felt my whole body convulse, whether from terror or nausea I couldn't tell. My legs went limp and I crumpled to the floor. Something sticky pressed against the palm of my hand, and I looked down to see blood.
Oh, fuck.
A vast warm pool of my fresh blood, stretching out across the room, lapping at my legs and hands. Why? This can't be real. How could...
Congrats on your correct guess!
What the fuck? Also, Fi got here fast.
What the shit?
Like an island of flesh were bodies. Hey, Dio's dead this time! Alright, let's go! Shame about everyone else, though. They were a bloody tangle of lifeless limbs and dead eyes, with too much blood and chaos for me to tell who was who. Had they sliced themselves open, or stabbed one another? I couldn't tell. All the blood. Too much blood. Whatever they'd done, it was clear what tool they'd used to do it. Scalpel lay in the blood next to them, its handle and blade streaked with gore. This was how they had died. This tiny blade. Oh god. This is it. It's all over. This is how it ends. That's right. I have to end it. This nightmare will finally be over. Time to wake up. My fingers scraped across the floor as I picked up the scalpel. I lifted it slowly, carefully to my neck, as if someone were guiding my hand to theirs. And I drew it across my throat.
Oh!
Congrats!
So, this ending just straight up everybody dies.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not
You just got
exactly sure
Cleaver's
why,
ending.
though. Yeah, it feels like... How to put it? It feels like... How to put it? I'm trying to think of why this would have happened in this route, but not in any of the other routes that managed to get past the second AB game.
Yes, we did get Clover's ending. By the way, congrats on now finally getting the second ending you can get from the get-go.
Yep.
What the shit, game? Just her ending is just straight up everyone dies?
Yeah, Dio and Clover's endings are the only ones you can get by default. Everybody else has locks. Now, if I may make a suggestion. We have only one route that has any sort of room to go in left. I personally suggest avoiding doing that for now, because we kind of want to space it out between all of the fucking cutscenes we have to go through. Instead, I think it's time to go back to that first route we went to all that time ago and unlock the lock there.
Huh. I really thought that finding out about the neostigmine was going to be the cure for this lock.
Nope.
Nope. That's for something else.
So, this one?
Yes.
Alright, let's jump.
Oh boy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that ending's kind of nightmare fuel.
As a refresher, we went through the botanical garden with Alice in this route, and found out that Quark found Excelivir in the laboratory. But there's only one of it, and both Alice and Quark are infected.
IG
Is that not globin?
Globulin.
Do you know what immunoglobulin is? It's another name for antibodies. Some people have antibodies that can fight off Radical 6.
I'm just getting Bowser's Inside Story flashbacks here.
IG Replicator?
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
So it's like a copy machine.
Yeah, probably copies IG, whatever that is. Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
As nice as that would be, unfortunately the answer is no.
That's it!
I've come up with a new recipe!
The IG replicator in the laboratory. It's an immunoglobulin replication machine.
What?
Achievement unlocked. If I told you I had a nice antibody... It can copy immunoglobulin antibodies. Luna just said Excelivir is made from antibodies. That means we can make more Excelivir.
Hold on a moment. There is a strange device in the laboratory that says IG Replicator on it. Clover and I examined it thoroughly when we were in that room.
Yeah, we never could figure out what it did, though.
Exactly. My question is, how do you know about it, Sigma?
Don't worry about it.
When I was in the laboratory...
When was that?
Probably when you were looking for Alice, right?
No, Dio was wrong. I hadn't gone to the laboratory when I was looking for Alice. I didn't think I'd ever been to the laboratory. So how did I know about the IG replicator?
If what he's saying is true, then we should be able to duplicate the Excelivir. That would mean we could cure Alice and Quark.
Let's go have a look then. The laboratory, right?
Yeah, no time to waste.
We all nodded. Wait, we can't leave them here all alone. Luna, do you think you could stay behind and look after them?
Oh, of course. I'd be happy to.
Thanks,
All right,
Luna.
then, let's go. I mean, I feel like we should have someone like Phi or K also there, in case there is some physical support needed. Because I'm gonna be honest, I trust Luna to do her best. I don't trust her to be able to like hold down someone who's trying to stab themselves.
Yeah, of course. You need a tank and a DPS to go with your healer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. We also need a tank to absorb aggro, because that's very important too.
That too.
And we're back in Dexter's laboratory. I'm not gonna make the SpongeBob joke.
Apparently.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna make the SpongeBob joke this time.
Yeah, but the condition was the first person to make a Dexter's Lab joke loses.
Yeah, we specifically didn't lose last time because we were doing the SpongeBob reference instead.
Well,
So
no,
this is
we
the
did
lab,
it before the recording, remember? So we technically already lost.
Anyway.
Yes.
Where's this IG replicator thing?
Right here. See?
So this can copy the Excelivir?
I think so.
What are we waiting for?
Calm down, alright? Don't rush me. Carefully lowered the small vial of Excelivir into the slot on the side of the machine. An empty vial already protruded from the other side. Presumably, that was where the duplicated Excelivir would go. Ready? When I push this button, it should...
Skip it. Just press the damn thing.
Tenmyoji is taking notes from Phi.
Yep.
Oh, da da da. And... pressed.
Click. Machine noises.
Did it work?
Have a look. The empty vial has something in it now.
And the vial Sigma used remains as it was. It does not seem to have lost any of its contents.
So, it worked?
Would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
Alright, let's get this thing back to the infirmary. So, I feel like this would be a bad idea. I feel like what we should do is duplicate a third vial so that we still have one vial left that we can use to duplicate more as need be.
Right?
Or
Congratulations!
like the
You
smartest
are a smart person. Smarter than literally anyone else in this game. Because that never fucking happens.
Or just duplicate 9 vials and inject all of us with it.
Yeah, because I am, like, I'm fairly certain we're all infected. I reached down and pulled both vials from the machine, intending to slip them deftly into my pocket. Ah, shit.
What happened?
Sorry, my hand slipped.
You dropped one of them?
Yeah, just one though.
What in the hell? What if you'd broken it, you idiot?
Come on. If it had broken, then we could have just made another copy. Before Tenmyoji could reply, Phi spoke.
Guys?
I was surprised to hear her voice coming from near my feet. I looked down to see her staring intently at something beneath the table.
You see? It did break!
No, the vial's fine. See?
She held it up in one hand, but didn't move her eyes.
Then what the heck is going on down there?
Take a look.
She slid
Is
back
it what
from
I
the
think it
table
is?
quickly and silently. The rest of us bent down to look.
Yep.
The number 2 bomb.
Dio, why are you
A
concerned?
bomb.
A bomb?
Whoa. Really? That makes 2 then.
What was up?
Guess K was right after all.
So there were more bombs.
So it would seem.
Was this here when you guys came through the first time?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and I looked real hard.
Then somebody must have said it while we were looking for Alice.
Who the hell would do that?
I don't know, Dio.
Gee, I wonder.
Who would? We were all
I
out looking
mean-
for Alice. Could have been any one of us.
it is heavily implied that Zero Senior is the one who set the bombs when we spoke with him in the recording.
True. However, we know that Dio knew the code for the number 0 bomb.
No, not any of us. I was back in the infirmary. Quark was still out, so I was keeping an eye on him.
So we shouldn't consider you a suspect, is that right?
Yeah, Quark's off the list too.
That little dancing emote you've got there is making me laugh, Taze.
But Tenmyoji,
It's
you
not
have no
dancing,
proof that you
it's
spent
panic!
The entire time in the infirmary, do you?
You can do a panic dance.
Yeah, you guys never played. You guys never played. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
I have.
I haven't played
At least
it, but
one
I
of
did
you
see
has.
But I did see a Let's Play.
Thank you for lending me your copy, by the way.
I need that back.
Yes, I know.
What?
I can
You
send.
could
I
have
can give it to
quietly
you.
made your way to the laboratory, planted the bomb.
That's insane. Listen to yourself. There's no way in hell I'd have left Quark all by himself to go plant a goddamn bomb.
Tenmyoji was still staring furiously at Kay when Clover spoke up.
Hey, what's this thing?
I turned in time to see her grab something from under the table.
It looks
What
like
is
a memory card.
Where was it?
Right under the bomb. It was down on the floor
Ooh,
under the table.
It goes in a 3DS.
Could it have been put here by the same person who set the bomb? There was nothing like it here when we examined this room.
Do you think they dropped it accidentally?
Unless it was left here intentionally, yes. I imagine so.
What do you think's on it?
Let's take a look. Can I see it for a minute?
Yeah, I guess so.
Plucked the card out of her hand and looked around the room. Nothing. We know the infirmary has such a TV. Shoot. No dice. We'll need to plug into something that can read memory cards, but I don't see anything here.
So what do we do?
Come on. If I knew, I'd be doing it.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before
all
the
the
deadline
stuff that
has
happened
passed, any non-voting
so far happened
parties
after we pulled
will
the door.
automatically ally.
Guys, I think maybe we should get back to the top floor.
Yeah, you're right. We've got what we came here for.
What should we do about the, bomb?
Not much we can do except leave it here. Alice said it'd be dangerous to touch them.
True, but...
Drop it. We can talk about the bombs later.
Kay immediately drops the bomb and it explodes.
Right now, we need to take care of Alice and Quark.
Right. So we'll go back to the infirmary, give them the Accelavir, then head to the Floor A warehouse.
Right.
Floor
This
A
ought to
doesn't
do
seem
it.
like a lot of time to do it.
It might take a little while, but they should recover.
Her voice was quiet as she backed away from Alice and Quark. In her hand was the injection gun. She carefully removed the empty vial and placed it gently in the cabinet with the other one. While we were in the laboratory, Luna had moved Quark to a crude cot. They both looked peaceful as they slept. The madness I'd seen on their faces before was completely gone.
Are they really going to be all right?
Yes. The analysis I did on the vials confirmed that the duplicate was real Accelavir. The original was genuine too, of course. Now that they've been treated...
It's only a matter of time before the virus is eliminated.
I believe so, yes. Oh man, what a relief. I was really worried.
Clover grinned. Agreed. I gave her a reassuring pat on the back.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game...
All right, everybody. We can be relieved later. Right now, we need to get to the AB rooms and fast.
Damn. Don't even have time to catch our breath.
I don't even remember who my opponent was.
Me neither.
Come on,
Alice.
let's go. Floor A warehouse is waiting.
Your opponent is Alice.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
ally and see if she will kill us.
I don't think she will. Not considering, we just cured her from Radical 6.
She.
And I
She's
don't
also
think Earth
passed
is
out at the moment,
Yeah,
so
she literally can't vote. Huh? Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh, he stayed back in the infirmary.
What?
Why?
Well, when we were all heading out, I noticed he wasn't doing anything. So I asked him if he was coming with us, and this is what I got.
I'm still worried about Quark and Alice. I think I'll stick around and make sure they're okay.
I see. That means that Phi's only opponent will be Dio.
One-on-one, huh?
Ugh.
That's cool. Nothing to worry about. I plan to choose Ally. You know why?
Because
Really?
I've only got one BP.
Exactly. If you chose Ally and I betrayed you, your BP would drop below 0 and... well, we know what happens then. I want to win. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
that
a
desperate.
that's a fucking lie.
Lies.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Press X to doubt.
Tenmyoji and Dio are a pair. Tenmyoji only had one BP left. Since Dio said he's going to pick Ally, Phi can't really pick anything else. If she does, Tenmyoji will...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kay and I are going to be going one-on-one too, since Quark's still sleeping.
That is correct.
How many BP do you guys have?
I've got 6.
As do I.
This will be a tough one then.
If one of them can get the other to Ally, and then betray that person, the betrayer will have 9 points. Look, Kay, I know you don't really have any reason to trust me, but...
I know. You would like us both to vote Ally, yes?
Yeah.
I agree. If we were to both betray, then we would gain no points. We would lose nothing either, but that's hardly relevant. If both of us cooperate, then we will both gain 2 points, which is much more beneficial.
Right. You're really gonna do it, right?
Yes,
Promise?
promise.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
Shit, this is bad. We need to move, now!
Indeed. Shall we?
Let's shall.
Dio, Kay, Phi, and Clover all took off immediately, heading into different AB rooms. Counting from the left, Dio went into room 3, Kate went into room 4, and Phi and Clover went into rooms 5 and 6, respectively. That left Luna and myself. What do you think about taking the one on the far left?
Sounds good.
That settled, we headed into AB room number 1.
So here's the question.
30 seconds remain until Ambidex game poll.
Would Dio
Probably a little
prefer
late to say this, but
to kill Phi or to get Tenmyoji killed by voting Ally, knowing that Phi will betray?
That's a good question.
you know Alice is still in the infirmary, so...
You're saying we should pick Ally, right? Since Alice is going to default to that anyway.
Yes.
I know. It's not really fair to betray someone who isn't voting. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the memory game didn't seem so scary.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then I sat there smiling like an idiot and ran out the clock, killing all 3 of us.
Ha!
Good man for picking Ally.
I mean, I had no
Round
reason
2
to pick
of
Betray.
the
It didn't seem
Ambidex
like it would
game
give me any
has
information
been
whatsoever.
completed.
Fair enough.
Results
And also,
will
Earth,
be
you're not the kind of dick
displayed
to kill
in the
people
warehouse.
haphazardly. At least I think.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates.
This is
now
why you are my
opening.
friend. Yay. Yay, friendship.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. Alright, let's go have a look at the results.
Okay.
We looked at the results and somehow Alice picked Betray this time.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
She just snapped away from the infirmary and sprinted for the AB room.
I am actually afraid of what this result is going to be.
Please direct your attention to the result.
Stay calm.
What?
What?
What? I was actually fucking right?
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
I was just doing a bit!
How?
Points have been assigned.
Alice, what the fuck?
Jumped in at the absolute perfect time, Louie!
What the fuck? Alice, why?
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
How the fuck? Well, we're dead.
What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No, that's not possible. How can Alice's vote be Betray? It was a question I would never know the answer to. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Oh no! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Sigma!
No. Why?
My eyelids felt like they were made of lead, but I forced them to open. Everything was growing blurry, but I noticed that the door of the second AB room was open. No one had gone into that room. I'd watched them all. And yet there she stood, an apparition that couldn't possibly be real. Alice. The world was gradually going black, and my mouth refused to form words, but my head echoed with questions. How? Why? What was she doing there? Had she run in at the last moment after Luna and I entered our room? But even if she had, why choose Betray? Then the darkness closed over my mind as well. My questions were gone forever.
What?
You
What
are
the
2 for
shit?
2 on bad choices today!
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm also
Do it again!
I'm also 2 for 2 on predicting shit.
Okay then, I guess we betray. Well,
Clearly today's stream name is Molephegenetic Fields.
Absolutely.
I guess this is going to be a 0-point round.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room.
Why? What happened to... It's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting. I thought...
Luna, look behind you. The second AB room is open. There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I picked Betray instead. It almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making a decision. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that had moved my finger to the Betray button against my will. An evil spirit? Or perhaps a stand?
Dun 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 dun.
Right, well, we should go see the results.
Really? We already know what they are. It's just simple math.
The look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes.
Results, please.
Holy shit.
Points. Please check your bracelet to see your
I was
updated bracelet
really expecting
points.
this to be another time where it goes the different way when I change my vote, and Sigma once again goes, but you voted the other way the other time. And then they go, what other time?
That would have been pretty funny.
What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No, how can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Alice? She was standing inside the second room from the left, the room that should have been empty. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where had she come from? As I was trying to perform a sentence, she began to move toward us. From around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprising confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh? Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it, coward?
Wow, Alice!
Me, a coward? You've got some balls saying that to me after you picked betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you? Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But
thank you! Here!
Yes,
thank
well,
you!
I still am. A bit. I have a throbbing
Thank you for
headache,
saving me!
and I can
Here,
barely
let me
stand.
try to kill you in response! Fuck you!
I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people, a result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that. They gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So you showed up right after we'd gone into the AB room?
Yes, right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be
You
the right
almost
thing to
killed
do,
me.
didn't it? You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
Oh my god.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right?
So what if I was?
Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid. I knew you'd choose betray. There was...
Tell the truth.
That is the truth. Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here? Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Phi and Dia.
Yes, if Dia had chosen ally, Phi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dia would have killed her.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
Man, everyone hates everyone this round.
I know,
Yep.
right?
I turned to look at the results again. Before, I'd only been looking at my own. I hadn't realized that there was only one word across all the roster: betray. Whatever trust we'd managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never going to get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma, but I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Hey,
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution. Sorry.
Yo.
Well, in that case...
Hit 2, Phi.
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves. So
I
would
kind of want to
appreciate
bitch slap
if you could
Alice
not
right
treat
now.
me like I'm the only villain here.
I'm not treating you like you're the only villain here. I am treating you like you're a villain. Dio gets a lot of hate too.
I'm treating you like you're the person who just tried to kill me!
Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know?
I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they'd reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it.
Ugh.
Luna, you're still good.
Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
You aren't going to leave too?
No,
Are you sure? I chose Betray.
I know. But I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand
Thank
must
you,
have
Luna.
just slipped or something, right?
Thank you.
My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed throughout the warehouse. This is still legible.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Stark. There is the Ambidex.
As many times as you want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too. Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet? Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pair. What about you?
I'm a magenta pair.
I wonder what the others are.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah, physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. It seems like
If I could offer a suggestion.
Everybody shows Betray. Yeah?
If I could offer a suggestion, finding out who set the bombs and disarming them.
Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
Hey!
Thank you, Luna.
After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice a port the accelerator. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, and everyone else would work together against them.
Right.
But how do we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? Memory stick. That's it! The memory card!
Every time you go that's it like that, my brain just wants to yell, I've come up with a new recipe!
It's on purpose.
I know.
I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
Told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh, I guess we can't really use it then.
What about the TV in the infirmary?
Oh, wait a second. You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
You have?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Dio and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
Yes, I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Yay, finally someone remembers. Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Tenyoji. Man, No, that's what happened in the Clover ending. Cork was there as well, of course, but he was just as we left him, asleep on the bed.
Oh, so
What are you doing here?
Here to kick your fucking teeth in. What do you think? Okay, James Sigma is better than me. I opened my mouth to retort and thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card. Now we'd come to the infirmary in the hopes that we could discover the contents of the lab.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Go ahead.
Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters.
Uh-oh.
Screenshot.
What is this?
Does this look familiar to anybody?
A little bit. Let's see. Can I see any words that I recognize?
I see one. It also looks like it's just the same two lines.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's the same two lines repeating over and over.
Yep.
I see one LED.
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set. In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat. Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish? Hey, Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons? For some reason, I felt like I'd heard that name before.
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Damn, I've got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. So what the hell kind of job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not.
Really? And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please, tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could blink, she'd leapt up and run out of the room. Hey, wait, Alice! I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover? You
Clover?
already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. It means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. Walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench, gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying, and everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that, but when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
Kill me! Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not going to kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying! I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this? You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know about myself and about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
Crying. I don't remember any crying.
Good. All right then.
Alice took a deep breath and began.
Ah, fuck.
Well.
Son of a bitch, I gotta do more talking.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Have fun!
Me.
Unless you want Asuk to take over.
No, I got this shit, but as soon as I'm done with this, I'm done. But can I get some water real quick?
I'll take over until she gets back.
No, let me do it. My father's Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation, and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist, and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which is why we moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to the life in the United States. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That is when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It was until several years later that I had finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my brother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then. It must have been very difficult for her, as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next 7 years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was then immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security, or soy sauce, as me and Clover like to call it. Their purpose was to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother she wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, though at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought they had been using cloning techniques to copy most of their useful members and expand their ranks.
Man, wouldn't that be absolutely fucked if Dio was a clone of Alice's father?
Oh, that would be fucked. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance nor his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding, but try to pin any kind of misdeeds in the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't get out of bed. Unfortunately, it seems his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about. Then, one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out there immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was driving behind the steering. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked about them what they were doing, what I got was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they had been locked up inside of the very building I had been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in the pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to the Source headquarters. We decided that involving the police could only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons.
I just realized something about them being unable to find Santa and Akane. Do you think Akane was receiving information from Junpei, and that's why she could constantly avoid being caught?
Maybe.
Also, this is never expressly stated, but it is very heavily implied, and it is also confirmed canon. Ace was actually a member of Free the Soul. In fact, in the last bit of dialogue you get from him, he brings up the teachings of Free the Soul before, he gets the tape shoved on his mouth again.
I see.
Huh. That doesn't make any... That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Like, I'd kind of gotten the implication from the Clover ending that Ace was part of Free the Soul.
Is that where he got the robes that Snake was wearing?
Correct.
Ah,
shit,
that makes
right.
sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, those robes have the symbol for Free the Soul on them. I told you to remember them. That's where they're relevant.
Anyway.
We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a sixth person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. You might know him as Ace. According to the other four, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. Well, that confirms it. More specifically, I suppose, H was a member of Free the Soul. And
I clearly did not remember that they actually brought it up here.
Yeah.
Well, so why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you'd ever heard it before, so I'll try to give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousnesses of a certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler just to call it telepathy. The source had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons had crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons had intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she had been a tapped subject in H's experiment, we knew that she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on our first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps this is what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately.
God, it's kind of funny that in a single session we have basically gotten this backstory from two different viewpoints.
Yep. And I'm paying for it. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All the conspirators who had pretended to be resistors and like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as though he'd been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It was until much later that I learned that he had died from ruptured organs and eternal bleeding. Ugh, that's a bad way to go. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell their masters at the source to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me.
With how in-depth this is going, I feel like this is leading towards Alice's ending, which is also making me wonder, wow,
Yeah.
I wonder what is going to stop us from proceeding in the nunnery game.
Or that once he was gone, I lose my reason for chasing him.
Like, okay, are we going to finish the story and then the bombs are going to go off?
We'll have to see. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had, at least, been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me that there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could only barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers, comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying, right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I've shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed it was the mother lode that we'd been searching for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing that he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my agents in danger. So we took our time, we gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. Oh, thank God!
So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Jesus!
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna voice act for a while.
She gave me
Well,
a
good thing we aren't doing any rooms, and you've
I
done
just
both your
noticed.
characters.
I just fucking noticed. There's
should
a
go back.
lion eating the sun in that
Yep.
pond.
Yep.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon.
Yes.
Right? And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you, we need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait, a long string of numbers? Could that be...
Ha 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 ha! This is going to be a lock.
Yep.
78153-61098-83809-42419-90551.
What the hell?
He was convicted of a
Alice
string
is
of
like-
numbers. Achievement unlocked.
Alice is just like, wait, are you a Myrmidon?
I was almost as surprised as she was.
What in
Numbers
the
that just
hell?
kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing. Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait, can you say that again?
Repeating the numbers.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
How?
That number you just told me.
Well, she said she was good at math.
Prime factor
She is.
decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
Talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it, right? Like, if you have a 30, then you get 2, 3, and 5, right?
Exactly. You probably learned that in junior high, right?
So you're saying that that number is a prime. If you multiply it by itself 3 times, you get that number.
Yes.
The code.
Tell me you just did all that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head. Simple mental arithmetic.
Simple
Holy
my
shit.
decorative blue ass.
No way. That's
I
impossible.
told you.
That is some ancient Egyptian magic.
That is...
By the way, I don't believe you were 3 years old in the United States.
Okay, bro, Alice, if this were a Hollywood flick, you would be completely non-verbal levels of autistic in order to have that kind of mental math
I'm better at
capability.
math than most people.
All right,
Like-
I'm back. What happened?
Holy
That's
shit.
not better at math.
Look at you.
Earth,
just recited
bring
a
up
huge
the
string of
fucking
numbers.
in text log so that Hannah can see what the fuck just happened.
Alice, basically, I gave her a string of numbers, and she immediately calculated that it was like some million-digit number to the third power.
What? In her head, within seconds.
That's
Holy
astounding, too. Where did you find that number anyway?
I didn't know what to say. What would I tell her? That it just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys, and there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone.
Fun fact, factoring very large prime numbers is basically the root of all modern cryptography, as I understand it.
Could you explain that with small words?
Well, look at the prime factors of your number. 198,449,351 to the third power. I think that's our hint for cracking the code. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first word was...
On the second row?
I think. And then they just repeat.
So Sigma
Wow, you've got
has
pretty impressive memory.
Sigma has a fucking photographic memory.
We could really use someone like you back at the...
I mean, we already knew that.
Well, keep going. How do we decode that?
You use 198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
Oh my god.
Do that.
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Then 8 from that one. Just keep going until you get something. Make sense?
Okay.
I over what she said in my head. The prime number Alice gave me was that. So okay, if we picked up letters like she explained. Okay, is the game gonna do this for me, or should I try and do it myself?
I think it's going to do it for you.
I'm pretty
Thank
sure
you,
that's
Dragon
what-
Cat. That is eidetic memory.
The first letter would be C from the top left. Next to the right, which gives you O. Okay, more to the right, you should get a word. That word was...
Oh. No, it
Well
does
then.
make you do it.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Okay.
wow.
Okay. Alright, so we got... C... Wait, what am I doing?
Why don't you just circle the letters?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's a P.
9351. I immediately forgot the other numbers.
5.
It's complete. The word is completed.
Yeah, it is completed.
Hey.
I did it. Completed. That's it. That's the answer.
Completed? Are you sure?
Yeah, I did exactly what you told me to do, and the word I got is completed. Well, actually, it's completed, completed, completed. The code and the letters repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
All right then. I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete. So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
Don't worry about it.
I barely even heard her. Suddenly, my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment ago. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath. Damn it. Why hadn't I realized it before? I can remember a series of numbers, but not this. At least I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. Not just any member. He was their leader. That meant he had to be the one who'd planted the bombs.
Hey, Earth,
Hey,
can I
are
ask
you
you something
listening
real
to me?
quick?
What's up?
Can you open up your flowchart? I want to check something. Ah, shit, not yet.
Then answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely, she'd just think I was insane. Dude, she literally told us she knows about espers in the morphogenetic field. Even I could barely sense the sudden influx of new information.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was, do you really think I'd reveal myself like this?
Point.
Out of nowhere, Clover appeared.
Should we call this episode that Hannah Talks a Lot episode?
No, we're calling it
here you are.
Molephegenetic Fields.
I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Quark.
Why?
I'm gonna head out because my throat is tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
We still got 45
Take
minutes
care, you
until the
guys.
white doors
Good
open.
luck.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought you, Kay, and Quark didn't know about the white doors.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were. So we all followed him down to the floor B warehouse.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah, anyway, when we showed up, Phi and Kay were already there. Well, all of a sudden, Phi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
Why?
What?
Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AV game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had one BP, Phi had chosen Betray. They started the fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged in too.
That seems odd. Phi only had one BP too. Your choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
Ugh, just come with me. Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
Okay. Come on, Alice. Let's go.
Coming.
I like seeing Alice actually being nice for once.
Yeah. Instead of, trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Or dead.
Yeah, or dead.
Yeah, or dead.
All 4 of them were still there when we arrived. They seemed to have calmed down a bit, but the tension in the air was almost invisible. I felt like I'd stepped into a room full of flammable gas. Even the smallest spark could turn the whole place into a raging inferno. Even Kay, usually so calm and collected, was standing ramrod straight, with his hand balled into a fist at his side. I looked at Alice, pursed my lips, and then headed over to the angry knot of people occupying most of the room. Clover told me what's going on. This whole thing is stupid. You need to knock it off.
Stupid? What about this is stupid? We're talking about my life, you self-righteous dick.
I know, but yelling at each other isn't going to solve your problem. Best thing for us to do right now is to trust each other and get through this. Wouldn't you agree?
Hard to trust someone who tried to kill me.
Same to you. Told you letting Dio vote was a stupid idea. What did you think he was gonna do? Might as well have pressed the button yourself.
I couldn't just leave Quark alone.
That's no excuse. And where do you get off telling me I shouldn't have picked Betray? Did you even think that through? What, I was supposed to pick Ally? If I'd done that, I'd be dead right now.
I could say the same thing to you. Damn good thing Dio didn't choose Ally.
Please, that's enough from both of you. Sigma's right. This isn't the time to be bickering with each other.
Oh, you don't get to talk. You tried to betray Clover and escape on your own.
Perhaps. But I think that's better than merely killing someone.
Well, I only did it so that she wouldn't kill Tenmyoji.
Ah, God damn it. Enough already. I roared with fury and my voice echoed and rebounded off the walls of the warehouse. Everyone fell silent. I didn't know how long that silence would last, so I decided to put it all on the table. There was only one way I was going to be able to take control of the situation. Guys, listen to me. We really don't have time for this. I was met with a number of glares, but I soldiered on. See, the thing is, I figured out who planted the bombs.
What? Is this what you were talking about earlier?
Notice that there wasn't a reaction shot from Dio.
There was. He looked surprised.
Was there? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I saw. It was in the top left of the first set.
Well, fuck.
Sort of. Yeah. I know which one of you it is.
Well, spit it out then.
Please, explain what's going on here.
I don't think I need to. They're going to admit their guilt in just a few minutes.
What?
You're all going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Or I guess I should say Dio's mouth.
What are you on? You think I set those bombs?
Yes, I do.
Hey, if you're gonna accuse me, you better have some pretty damn good evidence, pal.
I'm not accusing you. I'm just stating a
fact. Oh yeah? Where the hell'd you get that fact?
Fun as it was, I knew taunting alone wouldn't be enough to make Dio confess. He just played dumb. He was good at it, and I'd get nothing. That meant I was going to have to trick him. Well, you see, I'm actually from Free the Soul.
Free the Soul? What's that? Some kind of hippie shoe company?
Don't play dumb, Dio. Or should I call you Left? Brother ordered me to come here. To keep an eye on you. It was quick. For just a moment, I saw his eyes twitch. I leapt on that moment of weakness like a hungry dog on a steak. Fine. Skepticism is understandable.
Your aura is brimming with the power of steak.
Admirable, even. Perhaps this will convince you. I pressed forward, pulling out every fact I could remember. I told Dio about Brother's background and how his younger brother Left had been murdered. I mentioned casually that the Myrmidons were all clones of a single person. So, still not convinced? How about this? Number. Do a little prime factor decomposition on that, and you'll get number to the third power. That's not who I say I am. How on earth could I possibly know that?
What? No, that's not possible.
Finally. So, let's start over, shall we? I was sitting here to watch your every move. It seems our wise and noble brother doesn't trust you. He suspects betrayal.
No! You're lying!
I assure you, I'm not. But if you don't believe me, why don't you go outside and call him yourself with your transmitter?
No! No! You have to be lying! Brother trusts me! That's why he chose me for this mission! Why would he make me the leader of the Myrmidons if he...
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
I said, why would he have made me the leader of the Myrmidons if...
Congratulations, bitch! You just played yourself!
Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, Dio. I've never even seen Brother.
What the hell was all that? How did you know all those things?
Don't know. Maybe I was divinely inspired.
Don't give me that shit!
What's going on?
What are these Myrmidons?
Dio and I stared at one another while Clover and Tenmyoji quickly explained to Phi and K about the memory card and the #2 bomb, and about the code we found out. That was from a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
So you mean to say someone from the Myrmidons planted the bombs?
And Dio pretty much just admitted to doing it?
Yeah?
Bastards. I'll never forgive you.
I heard a low, furious muttering behind me and turned to see Alice, her lips pulled back into a snarl.
Are we gonna see some violence?
I'm going to kill you!
We're gonna see some violence!
Her voice rose to a scream as she charged towards Dio. Man, I hope this
I
is
have
the
the-
timeline where she found the knife.
I have the biggest grin on my face right now.
He ducked out of the way smoothly and pulled something from his pocket.
Whoa there. I like my women a little feisty. But you're taking it a little too far, sweetheart. Tone it down.
What?
You see this? You know what it is, don't you?
Oh my god. Is that the detonator?
Exactly. And I assume you know what happens if I press this button?
Yes. I think I do. I'm guessing it'll set off both of the bombs.
Well, I wouldn't say both.
You mean there's still a #1 bomb we haven't found?
And
Correct.
#4.
And there's one more, too.
No. There are 4 bombs?
Actually, I think it was 5 because they mentioned his #0 bomb.
Exactly. I planted 4 bombs.
He's
They're the
talking
ones
about the
numbered 1,
number 0
2,
bomb.
and 3. But there's also one more. Bomb number 0.
Oh.
Add all that up, and you're looking at about 4 tons of explosive power. Those go off, and it's all over. That's enough oomph to turn this whole place into a smoking crater.
Aren't you forgetting something?
That'd kill you too.
So, I'm ready for that. I've got spares.
Spares? Is that what Sigma was talking about?
Yeah, clones.
I heard Alice whisper something to Clover.
Let's go, Clover. Show him all that training wasn't for nothing.
Huh?
Before I had a chance to ask them what was going on, they moved.
Die, you bastard! Yeah!
She roared and leapt toward Dio, Clover following just behind. Alice threw a punch at Dio's face, and as he dodged, Clover spun out from behind him. Dio grunted and turned to focus on Alice, but Clover darted in and smashed the detonator from his hand.
Clover, get him!
Right! Sigma! Catch!
Huh? Before I could respond, Clover had thrown the detonator at me. I scrambled to grab it out of the air and held it to my chest, and then accidentally hit the button.
Damn it!
I know, right?
Stop! Let me go! Still let go of me, you asshole!
Yelling didn't do him any good, and Dio found himself subdued by the skillful teamwork of Alice and Clover. Once they had a hold of him, he stopped struggling. He was reminded of Giselle with its neck in the mouth of a lion.
Oh.
Had he surrendered? Or did he have some trick up his sleeve? It didn't feel right. I didn't have to wait long for my misgivings to prove true. The detonator in my hand suddenly began to flash.
Ha!
What?
Serves you right.
What are you laughing at?
You! Her! All of you! God, you're stupid!
What? What?
See that detonator you threw to Sigma? You activated it. If it gets more than a meter away from me, it sets itself off. We figured someone might try to take it away, so we put in a little safeguard. Since you two were kind enough to take it away from me, the bombs have gone from remote control to countdown timer. Go ahead and destroy the detonator if you want. Won't make any difference now. The bombs are gonna go off no matter what.
How long do we have?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh no.
My condolences.
What can we do to stop them?
I told you that already. First, we need the device that allows us to input information. Then we plug it into each bomb and enter the codes.
Hey Alice, who the hell are you? How do you know all this?
None of your damn business. Just tell me where the input device is.
Well, that's none of your damn business.
Oh!
Fuck! Stop! You're gonna break it!
Please break it, Alice!
I think torturing him is not going to get the information out of him. Like, go ahead, break his arm. He's going to be dust in a few minutes anyway. Like, he cares.
Of course. That's the plan.
Please, stop!
Just tell me what I want to know.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's in my coat. In the right-hand pocket.
Clover, check it out. Right.
She nodded and started digging through his pockets. After a few minutes...
It's no use! There's nothing here!
Did you lie to me?
No, I swear. Keep looking.
Oh, wait, there is something in here.
Clover pulled her hand from his pocket and held it out. Is that a pill? Like for medicine?
Hey, what is this?
Huh? I can't see it. Bring it over here.
Clover frowned and moved closer to Dio, holding the pill out toward him. Suddenly, he moved, his right hand snaking out to grab the pill from Clover's hand. Before anyone could react, he shoved it into his mouth. He heard a tiny crack as he bit down on it. Almost immediately, he grimaced in pain.
That would be a cyanide pill.
What? What was that?
Poison, I guess.
What?
Damn! How could I be so stupid?
His eyes rolled up into his head, and flecks of spittle began to trickle out from the corners of his mouth. He grabbed him by the hair and shook. What the hell are you doing? Where's the input device?
Lost it. In my couch. Back home.
Don't screw with me.
Fine. Don't tell us. How about you give us the deactivation codes instead?
Deactivation? You guys are persistent. Fine. Not gonna do you much good anyway. I'll tell you. But you only get one. This is the deactivation code for bomb 3. Ready? LXQ.
Screenshot!
What about the other 3? Tell us the other 3.
Yeah, remember that. Also, now you have 3 codes.
Yep. He didn't even seem to hear me.
My body will be a part of the foundation of a bright future.
You screenshotted that, right, Earth?
I did.
Yeah.
His voice was weak, and more foam was dribbling out of his mouth.
Such a beautiful world. May brother live in everlasting glory.
Those were the last words Dio spoke. He died with a strange, happy smile.
So I think that this route might actually be the golden ending. And this is the one where Phi and Sigma decide to go timeline hopping to try and find the other deactivation codes.
Possibly.
And when we get them, we come back to here to put them in.
Well, let's find out. Damn.
He only gave us the password for one of the bombs. This is bad. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
How much time have we got?
25 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he told us the time, I checked my bracelet. It said exactly 30 minutes.
You mean the bombs are gonna go off the same time the next set of doors opens?
Yes. The time on your bracelet is the time we have left.
Ooh, so 25 minutes.
This isn't good. I was hoping that we might be able to escape through the white doors, but...
It takes 5 minutes for the primary door to open and close, so...
Yes, I know. There's no way we can get through them before the explosion happens.
I mean, that's not gonna get you far enough away.
Shit. That might actually
There's no
screw
point
us.
just standing around. We should start
That might actually screw us because I'm pretty sure the input device was in one of the third room saves.
We need 3 things. The password input device.
And the remaining 2 bombs, right?
Right.
It was the one
We
in the
also need
control
passwords
room.
for all the bombs other than number 3.
Exactly.
Maybe Dio has a note or something?
Hold on, let me check.
She knelt down, quickly checked his pockets and sleeves, and sat back on her heels, frustrated.
Damn, he's clean.
She looked pale.
Then we'll just
Alice?
have to hope we find it somewhere.
Alice, check his prison pocket too.
Tenmyoji, can you go tell Luna what's happened?
Right. I'm on it.
Good. The rest of you, let's move out. We can do this. Let's go.
We all took off at a run, heading to different parts of the building. But all of our searching turned up nothing. And as we searched, clock kept ticking. Then at last, the chromatic doors opened.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Our time had run out. We watched the white doors open. Were they doors to heaven or to hell? The thought barely had time to float through my mind before everything went white. We didn't even have time to say goodbye. 1,000 emotions flooded my brain in those last moments. Why? How? How had we ended up this way? Then a blistering wave of heat, like the surface of the sun itself, wiped out any lingering thoughts.
Oops.
My consciousness slipped away into a bottomless pool of darkness. Neither heaven nor hell, only the void.
You are 3 for 3 today, Earth!
Is this Alice's ending? Wait, I even said the bombs are just gonna explode.
That's what I said!
Fuck.
3 for 3!
Well, fuck!
Okay, and this is where we're going to go ahead and end it for now.
Yeah, 2 endings! Not bad at all!
Alright.
And I was completely wrong about my understanding, because I was right. The input device is in the control room, so in that timeline, we were absolutely screwed. There was nothing we could have done.
Yeah. Alright. Well,
isn't Dio the best?
Well, at least we got to see him die.
He's the best at being the worst. We saw him die twice. So, this was a good session.
Yeah.
We have one specific place to go next time before we go to the last path we haven't taken. I'm doing my best to make sure that our playthrough does not go overly long, as you wanted to make sure that it doesn't.
Yeah. Alright. Well, with that, we will be back with more VLR next week. Hopefully, I will be back with more Blaze Blue next Wednesday.
Yes,
I'm a little
hopefully
sad that I wasn't able to do it this previous week, but things happened.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get to see Tager's story.
Yeah. But we shall see that then. Until then, I shall see you all later.
Have a nice
Have a good night.
TNT!